Hello students, today's lecture is pointers in C. We will discuss what is a pointer with example. So, introduction about pointers. As you know, memory is composed of large number of cells and each cell is identified by unique positive value called as address or reference. So we know that memory has large number of cells. For example, if we declare a variable I as, for example, we declare int I 10. We have already used this statement in our previous lecture. So int I 10, it means I is an integer type of variable and 10 is assigned to it. So the memory picture of I is like this. So this will be the memory picture of this I, name of the variable, its value and its address. For example, this is I, its value is 10 and address is 209. Actually, this address varies. This is not a fixed address. But we assume the address of a cell is 209. Actually, it will be different from machine to machine or whenever the program starts again. It is different from one machine to another machine, or if we start the program again, this address will change. So we can print the address of I by using following statement: printf %u %i. So we don't use %d, we use %u, means unsigned int. %u is for unsigned int because address is always positive. It will not be negative. So unsigned int. So %u is used to print unsigned value. The address of a variable is always positive, as the address is available is always positive. So when we write int I equal to 10, it means we have declared a variable I, integer variable I, and assigned a value 10 to it. So the memory picture of this will be like this. This is the name of the variable, this is value, and this is the address. So what is a pointer? Pointers are a variable used to store addresses. A variable which stores addresses is a pointer. So a pointer variable is declared by using a star before the variable name, such as int pointer ptr. So a variable which has a star before it is a pointer. So ptr is declared as int pointer. This ptr is an integer pointer because here data type int is used. It means that ptr variable can store the address of an integer variable. It means it will store the address of an integer variable. A float pointer can store the address of a float variable. So if we have written a float here, then it will store the address of a float variable. Similarly is the case with other data types. So we can assign the address of variable pointer variable like this: ptr equal to %i. So I have written here int ptr int pointer ptr. So this pointer will store an address of an integer variable. So it will. So here we have declared that this pointer will store the address of I. This ptr will store the address of I. So address of I will be stored in this ptr. It means that the address of I, that is 209, we have already discussed in the here. Address of I is 209. So this 209 is got stored in ptr. So this is I, this is I, its value is 10, its address is 209. So now the ptr, it will store the address of this I, this the value of I. Now the value of ptr is 20, and its address, for example, its address is 6400. We assume that the address of this ptr variable is 6400. So we can access the value of I, that is 10, by dereferencing the pointer. So when we have to address the value of I using this pointer ptr, we will dereference this. Referencing the value of a variable through ptr is called an indirection. For example, here %d pointer ptr. When you have printed pointer ptr, it will print the value at the address of value at the it will print the value which has the address stored in ptr. For example, it will print 10. So ptr, its value is 209. So the value which has address 209, the 10 has address 209, so it will print 10. So the operator star is commonly referred as indirection operator or dereferencing. We can call it a indirection operator or dereferencing operator. So pointer %d star this I. So the output of the statement will be 10. This %i means the address of I, and star the address means the value at this address. So it is 10. So the output of statement will be 10. So star and ampersand is read as value at the address of I. Double pointer interaction. When we have two pointers, Here, uh, for example, let int equal to 10, int I equal to 10. So I have declared an integer I and assigned a value 10 to it. I have declared two pointer variables p1 and p2. So now I have assigned the address of I to p1, the address of this I, this I, this I, its address is 209. So I have assigned it to p1. Now here I have assigned the uh, address of this P1 as 6421 and address of P2 is 6430, and the value of this P1 is 209, which is address of I, and this value of P2 is 6421, which is the address of P1, pointer P1. So P1 can be used to access the value of I by using indirection operator. But if we copy the address of P1 to another pointer variable, that is P2, if we copy the address of P1, this address of P1 to another variable P2, then the double pointer induction is required to access the value of I through P2. So P2 is equal to ampersand P1. So address of P1, ampersand is address, ampersand P1 is assigned to P2. The value of I can be accessed by using the following statement. So when we have to access the value of I through P1, we will use star P1. But if we have to access the value of I through P2, then we have to use this double star P2. Follow statement. Printf %d is double pointer P2. So pointer arithmetics. Only two arithmetic operators are logically correct and allowed in pointers. So we have only two arithmetic operators which are logically allowed in pointers, that is addition and subtraction. Suppose PTR is an integer pointer variable and contains 6421 as address of some memory cell. So let's suppose PTR is a pointer, integer pointer, and its address is this. It contains an address, its value is this, which is the address of some memory cell. So we can write a statement as ptr plus plus ptr minus 1 or ptr equal to ptr plus. So we can do these types of calculations in pointers, increment, decrement, or we can add some value to it or subtract some value. For example, ptr plus plus will point to 6. If the value of ptr is 6421, as we have already discussed, value of ptr is 6421, 6421, 641. So PTR plus has no point to 6423 location because PTR is declared as integer pointer and number of bytes occupied by int are 2. So when we use PTR plus plus, it will no point to 642 because 6421 and 6422 are already occupied by PTR. So when we increase it, it will increase by 2 because an integer pointer, an integer variable always occupies 2 bytes. Therefore, increment by 1 takes a jump of 2 cells in the memory. Similarly, in the case of with decrement operator. Similarly, in decrement operator, it will take a jump of 2. We can also add integer value to a pointer variable. We can also add this integer variable to a pointer value. So another example, float p1, a pointer p1 which is a float type. So if we increment this, if we increment the value of p1, it will increase by 4 location because float occupies 4 bytes. So p1 plus plus will point to, will increase it by 6425. That is because the float occupies 4 bytes. So if any other mathematical operator is applied on pointer variable, compiler generates an error indicating illegal use of pointer. So if we do any other mathematical operation other than plus and minus, so it will generate an error. Error is illegal use of pointer. So this is the pointer arithmetics. Let's take an example. Here I have included two header files, standard input output.h and console input output.h. So I have declared an integer variable I and assigned a value 344 to it. I have declared an integer pointer j. So I have assigned the address of I to j. So address of I, %u, address of I is 6514. Address of I is, let's suppose it is 65140. So value of j is a pointer which contains the address of I. So the value of j is the address of I. It will again print 64140. So address of j, let's suppose it is 65138. Let's suppose it's 65138. Address of j. So value of I is 344. It will print 344. So value of I using this address of I and pointer. So it will again print the value at the address of I. So it will again print 344 and value of I using pointer j. So j is the, it will print the value at the address of value at the address which is the value of j. It will again print 6344. So this is the program, and this is how we can use pointer and the output of the program. So this is what I have today. Pointer. What is a pointer? So what are the operations are allowed in pointers? Arithmetic, pointer, arithmetic, different operation, double pointer, and example. Thank you.